ideas. It was very nice to hear the previous speakers about learning, research learning, and ethics. This is the most difficult issue nowadays. Learning has many advances and anyone can learn, but how to teach ethics and how to control ethics? This is a difficult subject. Even AI tools cannot capture unethics in research papers and so on. So my talk will be similar to previous ones, but more in depth regarding the basics of education and learning and how AI can offer to these processes. But again, don't expect AI to do all things, and especially to control ethics. Ethics is for humans, and only for humans nowadays at least. So I will talk about advances of artificial intelligence in education and learning, and the major, let's say, guideline nowadays all over the world, in the globus, is the new education highlight is to learn, unlearn, and relearn. By this, we mean we try to learn, at least we try, at our childhood or in universities, etc., having a degree, but then several things may become obsolete, several things may become useless, and so you need to unlearn things and relearn things that once upon a time you learned, maybe in a wrong way, maybe in an old-fashioned way. So now we need very flexible workers, very flexible researchers, very flexible in general colleagues in all kinds of jobs. And this means learn, unlearn, and relearn in order to be flexible. I will be very fast in some things about defining AI tools and AI in order to go to education highlights through AI and data. I have collected very recently some data about AI and education, how people view this issue, and I think this is very interesting for all of us in order to understand, because we say a hype about AI, but how actually the people in Globus and especially in USA feel about AI. Of course, we all know that intelligence is human intelligence, but AI means we try to build systems that bring into operation human-like intelligence. This is the broadest, let's say, definition. So with AI, we think of human intelligence and how this can be implemented through algorithms, novel algorithms, or hybrid algorithms, hybridizing, for instance, computational intelligence, rules and expert systems, evolutionary computation, natural computing, and natural heuristics. This is the background, let's say, of the algorithms of AI. So by AI, we mean automation in larger scale and in nearly all fields. We need automation in all fields, but not in writing papers. Don't misunderstand this. Robotics, virtual assistants, chat boxes, software, self-driving cars, and so many other issues. So autonomy in general, autonomy is the principal goal of AI, to build autonomous systems. Okay, supervised by humans, but autonomous. And this says a lot. So by AI, we mean understanding. We try to succeed and achieve systems that can understand, can reason, like expert systems approach, but this is not enough, because reasoning in expert systems is in concert with a very limited field, for instance, chess and games. But real world is not chess or games rules. It's also with uncertainty. So reasoning, it's not so simple as in expert systems. Now reasoning is, of course, aided by deep learning, reinforcement learning, and so many other tools of new AI. Then learning, we want adaptive systems. Solving problems, we need problem solvers. And also effective communications is a very important characteristic of people, of human beings, and we try to build also effective communication to machines. Now, with the ChatGPT, this started to be implemented at large in all applications. Effective communication now is not a dream, it's a reality. So we know huge applications in healthcare, agriculture, retailing, work productivity, personal life, but education and learning is the most important target for us in today's talk. So in general, AI systems analyze data and try to extract patterns and learning from patterns to predict behaviors, to analyze behaviors, to offer guidelines. So using algorithms and step-by-step instructions, they can make decisions on certain problems, on certain tasks, and therefore in education, for instance, by proper training on previous patterns, they can make decisions on what the learner and how the learner should be approached. This is the most important thing for AI in learning and education. Of course, everything is based on data, and therefore the best the data, or the better the data, the best the learning process, and the best the affecting and the effect of AI and educational tools to the learning process. Why we are talking about AI systems in education, especially? In general and in education especially. First of all, we have the proper computing power nowadays. NVIDIA cards, NVIDIA has become the most valuable company in the world, sells very powerful computers, okay, expensive. If you need 4 NVIDIA cards with all computational power needed, and this means 100 teraflops, listen, 100 teraflops per card. This means 4 cards, 400 teraflops. Such a power is needed for AI systems. Also, the growth of internet, the internet library, let's say, as I say, the internet ocean of information, social media, and all digital technologies provide all data needed in order to train the AI models for all tasks, including education, of course. Also, many advances in AI research, especially deep learning, including deep reinforcement learning, where LLMs are based on. Finally, related also to education is the natural language processing advancements. And nowadays, we have NLP systems that don't only translate in an acceptable way. You can see Google Translate how is improved during the recent 10 years, dramatic improvements. So we have not only computational and AI advancements, big advances, but we have also advancements in natural language processing, especially with the new database style for NLP, how to store patterns, NLP patterns. As we say, the vector database concept is advancing a lot together with all the other instruments here, advancing a lot AI. So related to education, of course, we may have many applications. The most important is the natural language in general processing. Image and video are used. Internet of Things with, for instance, in education, we use the maps and boards that are interactive. We have the interactive boards in all schools. This is something like Internet of Things for the education. Speech recognition, sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is very important, of course, for education feedback. And I mean, you're a teacher and you have comments from your students. The comments may be in social networks. Now we have with web scraping, you can extract all such comments and make a sentiment analysis, automated of course, in order to have an evaluation, a real evaluation of your performance. You may tell, but we have questionnaires for students and these are anonymized. But you know, this is a good approach. All universities use such evaluation principles, but I believe sentiment analysis is a tool that can offer even more in such a case for evaluation. So I will skip some other things in order to go to the AI tools that are used in education. And one of the major principles here is, of course, generative AI with the large language models. But it's not only for language, it's also for image and video. LLMs is not only for language. Similar principles are in Delhi for creating images. So generative AI is a major now tool, and we can see applications of generative AI in marketing, in sales, in support, general writing, you know, also research writing, note-taking, etc. For code also, we have code generation, documentation, transformation to SQL, etc. Web application builder or any application builder. For images, image generation, etc. For speech, voice generation. For video, for 3D models, etc., etc. So nowadays, with generative AI, we can bring into the air any kind of model under some principles that we prepare, and you can have a 3D model according to some formula, for instance, according to some 2D pictures. So, of course, education has to benefit a lot by generating material through generative AI. Not only 3D models in physics, in chemistry, in anything. 3D modeling is important in all aspects of education, but also to create presentations, to create videos, to create images based on some requirements. You can use generative AI in order to have important tools in education, also for code generation. Now, the student doesn't have to learn alone reading a book. He can use the code generation principles of generative AI in order to start not from scratch, but to start from somewhere and adapt the code generated by generative AI. Another very important AI tool for education and learning is the conversational AI. And by conversational AI, of course, we are based and we are meaning and we are based on natural language processing. So we build machines, systems that respond to queries like ChatGPT or other bots. So chatbots are actually conversational AI. So people discuss with the machine. So communicate, passing, not fully, but we have many papers. In another occasion, I will refer to this, how far we are from passing Turing test. You know Turing test, here is the human, here is a room, closed room, with a machine or human. And this human queries and makes a conversation with the other room. The issue is to understand if in the other room there is a human or a machine or a chatbot. The nowadays findings, but we need more experiments, more large-scale experiments, seem that we are near passing the Turing test. This means that the humans are confused having the answers of machines. Sometimes they are better than human answers. So we have, of course, a lot of conversational AI modes like AI chatbots, voice bots, interactive, as I told you, interactive boards. Now we have interactive boards even in primary schools, in Greece at least, and I believe in all Europe and the USA. So we have started discussing about AI in education. We should analyze the principles and in which direction AI can be a very important benefit for education and learnings. So these are the basic things: increasing accessibility, because learning resources now are abundant. No one can claim, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. They are abundant. Facilitating personalized learning. This is the one of the most important thing, not only accessibility, but personalized learning. Even for writing papers, we should build personalized learners, because every researcher has different needs, different understandings. Even for ethics, okay, we can claim, don't put authors, co-authors, because they pay you. All right. Don't go to fake journals. All this with examples facilitated by personalized learning could be a very important benefit for the researcher, the young researcher, not the senior researcher. Of course, senior researcher knows, but a young researcher, does he know what is a fake journal? Does he know what is exactly ghostwriting? What is exactly unethical to put others in your paper? Okay, if it's for money, he understands, even if he's a very young researcher. But if it's for other things, for instance, he's a friend of mine, why not to put him? All right, such things could be employed in a personalized learning system for research. This is an idea only. I have not developed any such things, and I don't know if there is such a development in the world nowadays. We are based on the ethics of the researchers, and we don't train researchers actually. Eudoxia tries, but it's not enough, of course. We need a model all over the web and YouTube, of course, lessons at large in order for young researchers to understand through personalized learning, especially the impact of unethical research in all aspects. So, facilitation of personalized learning. This is one of the most important issues in AI in education and learning. Time-consuming and tedious tasks for administration. For instance, you have a lot of material as a teacher. How to manage all this material? AI, this is a tedious task. AI can help, and also can help in grading, grading of projects, etc., in massive similarity checking, and so on. Although, of course, we have some problems with Turnitin, cannot address massive similarity checking, but it's another story. Fundamental questions also about how people learn. This could be addressed by AI systems. So the personalized learning, in very brief, because I don't have time and I want to present data in a short while, what is the important thing here is we have students that are weak. We cannot teach them with the material we use for the average student or for the very good students. So these weak students, and of course the mediocre students, need special examples. According to their level, they need special examples. A personalized system can do this, to choose according to the level of the student, according to the understanding it presents in some questions, to select proper examples in order to enhance the education and learning of this weak student. So you understand the importance of personalized learning nowadays and in the future. We don't need the teacher, the professor, to be over each student and help him learn. The new role of professor is only to supervise the whole system. And of course, if the system is weak in choosing some things, in answering some things, here is the professor. But the professor is helping the whole process and supervising the whole process. Is not the one that will take every student, weak, mediocre, and super student from his head, from her head, in order to learn. Now learning can be advanced through personalized learning. And of course, since you have a system that is engaged to you, you feel you don't feel shame to ask anything. You might feel shame to ask in a classroom a question, but there is no shame to ask any AI tool. This is very important. You may think this is, what is this? No, effective learning, even especially for weak students and mediocre students, need to surpass several hinders. And one of the hinders is shame, among many others. Adaptive learning, as I told you, the systems are adaptive, and we have adaptive education systems, not only for personalized learning, but also for new knowledge, should be adaptive. Also, universal access. Universal access is a big thing for AI in learning and education through many tools, real-time text-to-speech, speak to text. The classroom may become accessible to all the globus. You understand the universal access principle through AI systems can offer a lot in education over the globe. From a policymaker's, of course, perspective for AI in education, education management and delivery can be facilitated a lot. Learning and assessment. Okay, assessment of works can be done in principle, but if you have some very good works, some innovative works, it's not AI that can consider. But if you have only some questions, not multiple choice can be automated even without AI. It's ICT issue automation, the multiple choice question grading. I mean, some free text maybe, some solution given by a student. This can be assessed in mathematics or in physics or in whatever, in principle, in the beginning. But then the professor should see in detail if the assessment is really good assessment. An innovative solution cannot be tracked, cannot be traced by AI. So professors should be there. Although for the bulk of projects and answers to exam questions, AI can offer assessment at large, cannot offer assessment, good assessment, for some good answers. Therefore, the professor should be there, especially for the high marked and over the mediocre case students, because their AI cannot offer much. Only human intelligence can offer in such a case. Empowering teachers and enhancing teaching and lifelong learning. Of course, when you have a system in education based on AI that can offer, as Cisco Academy does this, not truly with all AI tools, but does this. Lifelong learning, therefore, can be a personal issue based on material, correct material, chosen in personalized learning by AI, properly, of course, built, as in Cisco Academy. So lifelong learning in atomic basis for each one of us is now possible. You don't need to find a teacher. It's very important, therefore, to use all these tools for lifelong learning. MIT and many other universities prepare such courses for the globus and open courses, and these are superb courses with proper material, properly chosen, but with the use of AI become even more super. I will skip other things. I will go also to intelligent tutoring system because my time will finish in 10 minutes. I go to intelligent tutoring system. It's a holistic solution to education. So without removing professor or teachers, the intelligent tutoring system tries to adapt to its student, personalized learning again, through a structured way to learn basics through exams, tests, etc. So it's an intelligent tutoring system is like having a full employed teacher to educate a classroom or even one student. So building such a system is very important, not only for lifelong learning, but even for normal learning. So you have the professor and the teacher only for some queries that you feel the ITS, Intelligent Tutoring System, doesn't answer you. Isn't it a great leapfrog step? Empowering, as I told you, means that we have reduced workloads for the teacher, but we have a major now issue that the teacher, the professor, should give feedback to the students, supervising the whole process, especially when the system doesn't operate according to the needs of the students. So reducing the workloads for traditional work, like plagiarism detection, other basic assessment things, in order for the professor to focus on the most important things, on the real understanding of the student. You know, when you have to correct exam papers, you have a bulk of papers, 100, 200. How to pay attention to special things? You try to mark, so you don't pay any attention if the student knows, if he doesn't know what he has confused, but reducing the workload, the traditional workload, then there is time to focus on very essential questions. What is wrong with my students and did not perform as expected? What happens? What they do not understand? You need time to have this. And this is empowering the teachers to search a bit deeper the whole process. For lifelong learning, we have discussed a lot. For the ethical concerns, okay, you understand that these concerns are everywhere, not only education. The fairness, but they reflect to education a lot, because fairness means, of course, to provide knowledge that is that avoids bias of gender and any kind of discrimination, race, etc. So this means you need the proper training sets, as we have discussed a lot in previous talks. So fairness is a problem for education. If you don't have the proper training sets, your education is biased. Transparency. You should, whatever you teach, whatever you try to educate people, should be explainable. So we need explainable AI. Now we are in the beginning of this. Privacy. You understand, you should not use data, private data, without the consent of the people using this data. Accountability. The deployment of the AI system should have, of course, log files for everything. Every action, every pattern should be accountable. Every decision, especially, should be accountable. And safety, of course, there is not, especially in chemistry, for instance, or in experiments, you can use, but safety in electricity and electricity lessons, you can use in circuits, you can use AI tools, but you should be careful about the safety of the system. Now, the final part, short part, unfortunately, because I have lack of time, I extended in other issues, about the worldwide nowadays. This is the data coming from UNESCO, from USA, and from several other ministries of education in the world. What we see here, only 7% of education system provide guidance nowadays about the use of generative AI. A very small percentage of systems provide guidance on AI. It's like AI, This is data of 2023, beginning 2024. Therefore, they are very recent. You understand? The systems do not explain and do not employ completely AI, and there is no any guidance for this. Only 2% of the state educational institutions and leaders say that their state has an AI initiative. 2% only. This is data from 2023. 2%, too low. You can see USA states that provide guidance on AI. You see very few, some with no response. This is no guidance. Developing guidance and provide some guidance only two in USA. Imagine what happens in the world. Look, 75% of educators have never used AI. You understand what this means. We are in the beginning, 75% all over the world. 87 have never received any professional development about AI. Can you understand this? 87%, even a seminar, not education, even a seminar, nothing. The interest in AI guidance. You see 56% almost, they need, and we have 21%, they don't care. They don't care. This is also huge. And they know what I say about no. They don't need any guidance. So they are definitely don't want AI. 73% of the parents are concerned about privacy and security. 73. There is a problem. They are right to be concerned. 62% of the students are concerned. So there is a problem with safety and privacy. The students and the parents recognize this. 43% of educators believe that AI is priority, is a top priority. You see the data, 43 only, the rest no. 16% of the teacher believe that students know how to use AI, 16%. 18% believe they personally know how to use AI well. So only 18% of the teachers, they feel that no, they are not accredited, of course. There is no such an accreditation, and there should be such an accreditation. How else to do? But 18% feel they are okay. Only the God knows. 67 of parents believe that the potential benefits of AI to 12 years education may have potential drawbacks or it's overweight. So 67%. This is a huge barrier for AI inclusion in the curricula or any other use. AI plans, you can see here. The big 37% is we never used, and we may never need to use. So these two making a 60%, no, we have never and we don't plan anything. too huge. Do they use the teachers? Some. 24%. Some. For what they use? You can see some for planning, the majority use for planning, some for communication, only 17% for instruction. Too low. Student expectations. 42% agree that generative AI can guide coursework. Maybe these 42 prepare their works with generative AI. Okay. 69% disagree that will replace human teachers. This is good. This is a good feeling because generative AI will never replace human teachers, at least their supervision. So 70% are on the right track. Post-secondary expectation. 68% of the teachers believe in the increased use of generative AI, and the students in 66%, equally to the teachers, believe the same. The teachers, 81% agree that the students should be taught with generative AI tools. And 61%, you see the difference, the students agree. 85%, this is the final one. I don't want to steal time from the next speaker. The teachers feel that AI will have a significant impact. 85%, big. Administrators, 78, as you see. The teachers, they feel some concerns at 49%, and administrators feel the challenges and concerns about 46%. All this data, thank you for your attention, first of all, and I conclude that all this data mean that we are in the beginning. The expectations are high, but the real world says that we are in the very beginning of using and deploying generative AI, conversational AI, and all AI tools. No teacher up to now, at least in Greece, I have not seen anyone preparing personalized learning system with AI. I don't know any personalized learning system. I guide a PhD in my university about building such a system. I may have next year or in 2 years good results about this. But you understand, it's more than a hype nowadays, and it's a huge effort, but with limited outcomes up to now. Thank you very much for your attention.